Alright, yes people, bloody hell I need a haircut. Right, today I'm very excited because this is going to be the last kind of video on my Civic Coupe before we go and pick it up for K-swap. Now, there's a couple of reasons it took a little bit longer, but with this car, there's been no rush at all. Parts having a little bit of a backlog on them, so waiting for engine mounts. Then they sent the engine mounts and Hasport sent the wrong mounts, so we've had to order some more mounts. I have decided to have the engine bay sprayed. So today what we're doing, we're heading up to Tegua and we're going to go see the Civic, give you guys an update and hopefully give you a rough date of when we'll be picking it up. So yeah, like I said, the Civic's now been painted. The whole engine bay, all under the bonnet, has been painted, and I've had pictures sent, but I've not seen it in person, and it looks absolutely amazing. So today we've got Georgia again, as per usual. She's taking us up there in her lovely Civic Type R. But first thing we've got to do is fly to my grandma's house, because good old grandma. Because I left my Energy suspension bush kit in her garage because our garage got a bit cluttered, and if throwback to you guys that watched when I got all the underneath of the Civic done and all the poly bush kit put on, I said that pretty much Dave at Motion Motorsport said we'll just do the steering rack bushes and stuff like that when the engine comes out. So luckily I remembered, and luckily I kept the parts. We're flying to my grandma's now, picking them up, and then we're going to fly to Tegua. But first thing, this morning I decided to put a little I took the airbox off and put an air filter on George's Type R, just so you can hear the VTEC a little bit more. It isn't going to be a permanent intake for it, but it works for now, and if it works, then it works. So we're going to get George's first reaction for her putting her foot down with an actual intake, because these completely change, like the sound completely changes when when you've got an intake on. So in your own time, proceed to rag the car. Told you! How loud is that? But I've got to point out, you changed it to 7 again, and yeah, everyone in the comments is going to kill you for it. Right, we'll give it another go. But how much louder is that? You can proper hear the crossover, can't you? Right, let's head to my nan's. Foot on the dash. Hello. How much better is that? It's actually easier to drive though, because you know when you've changed gear and you're in VTEC or not. But yeah, the Civic's now got an intake. Let's head to my grandma's and grab the parts. Okay, package is secured. These are all the old bushings that we didn't get round to fitting when I got all the poly bushing done, because the engine wasn't out. These are some of the awkward ones we couldn't get to, and because the engine was coming out, we thought it'd just be a lot easier to do it when the engine's out. We're at Motion Motorsport, so this is going to be the first time we have seen the Civic since it's had all the engine bay done. So let's go in, talk to the guys, and we'll go have a look at it. Here he is, the gorgeous human being of Dave. We're going to go have a look at Civic. But this is the first time I've seen it since the last video, alright? So it's had the engine bay. Well, in fact, we'll let Dave describe. Morning, boys. Liam, Jim Bob, hello. Morning. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Is it tidy? Oh, lad, don't. I'm buzzing for this. Don't blame you. Oh, bro. Oh man, that's like better than brand new, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, you can fill all the holes.
Yeah.
But it's such a massive process to do that.
So what are they? What is that then?
Just tin tape circles. So what we use on all the race cars. So whenever you're trying to hide a hole,
yeah,
or make it look nice and clean, you don't get any shite into the engine bay coming in the wheel arches. We just run tin tape circles over the top of all the holes.
Yeah.
Before it goes to paint, so it all looks nice and clean. Yes.
Well, and that's literally like tape and then sprayed over.
Yeah, so it's like a foil tape.
Like aluminium foil. Yeah, I'm with you. What? And they don't come out now then?
Never ever, never
Oh,
ever.
never,
So,
never heard of that.
all of our cars are all done exactly the same. It stops any of the road film and water and rainwater and all that sort of stuff coming through any of the holes in the arches,
Yeah.
and it just makes it look a lot cleaner. And
Oh,
it
Dave, look at it, mate.
takes an hour to do rather than 4 days of,
filling and
grinding
primer and everything.
Which, I mean,
mate.
and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but if you're using it as like what you will be, it's a car that's used and driven.
Yeah, exactly.
Then just do it like that.
Well, it's. I don't think it'll ever be like a show car.
No,
Probably
exactly.
take it to
Painted
some.
the underside of the bonnet as
Oh,
well.
mate.
And it needed a little bit of welding around these.
Yeah, I know they do
around
go
these holes.
crusty,
I
don't
mean,
they?
you can't see it because good at what we do. But yeah, you don't have a bit of welding around there.
Yeah,
the
that's
underside of
alright.
the bonnet's painted. And again, like, it wasn't something that you asked to do, but if we'd have left it, it just looked so gay having like a really scabby bonnet. When
That's what I mean. That's why I went for the engine. 'Cause I thought the engine that we've built in there looks absolutely brand spanking new. Chucking it in a bit of an older looking engine, but mate, this is. Oh, and the slam panel as well. Everything. Oh my god.
One thing we do need to talk about is what you're going to do with the exhaust.
Yeah, that's a proper good question. I don't know because
So I've got upstairs a Mega Power Skunk 2
for a coupe.
Well, this is the thing. It's
She'll do for me, Dave. Yeah, that'll do for me, mate. Yeah, I like that. Is it a cut tip as well?
Yeah, so it is very Japanese,
Yeah, I like that.
but it'll work. And again, it's probably a little bit small,
What is it, 2 1/4?
2 1/4, yeah. But
It's one of them, isn't it?
it's one of them. I mean, it's either we either run this
Yeah,
and then make the S,
yeah,
and that'll be a fairly affordable way of doing it,
yeah.
or I can get a system made.
Let's keep it affordable for now because we haven't told everyone. But what's gone on in the gearbox since? I'll let you come down the stairs first. So literally every nut and bolt on the car is pretty much going to be brand new, isn't it?
Yeah, aside from like the suspension bits that like we obviously we've bushed it, but we've not powder coated or zinced any of those bits.
Yeah.
But
So apart from suspension arms, everything.
Yeah, so everything that we're fitting or we're changing will be
There it comes.
refurbed and zinced.
That's it.
So yeah, it's like everything.
You actually haven't explained to everyone what you've done with the engine because you've done quite a lot since.
Yeah, so
I
obviously
dropped it in the room.
when you dropped it off, it was a bare sort of short motor essentially.
Yeah.
That you'd paid, but everything was off it. So before I did anything, I did a leak down test on it.
Yeah.
To make sure that it was healthy, rather than just putting in an unknown quantity.
Yeah, of course.
Painted all of the bits.
How did it do on the test?
All right, mate. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, like 7% leakage on all four, which is like perfect.
Is it?
Yeah,
Sweet.
really good.
Happy days.
So yeah, just painted everything, put it all back together again. It's a new timing chain, sump baffle.
Oh, you got a baffle some?
Yeah, I'm sure we put a baffle in.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty sure we put a baffle in. It's been a while.
Sweet. I didn't know that.
I'll double check. I'm fairly certain I put a baffle in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we had the sump off. So new clutch, new plugs, new idler, tensioner, belt, new alternator. Everything else has been painted or refurbed. Put your fuel rail on there.
Yeah.
Wrap the loom a little bit nicer because obviously with the fuel rail on there, it's just.
Oh yeah, of
shit
course. They
having all
normally come over the top, don't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. Just leaves
yeah,
crap
nice.
unless you spend a little bit of time doing that. And then we've had the gearbox apart, check that, and for somehow that is probably the only one in existence that needed absolutely nothing. I think it had a third gear synchro, but other than that, all the hub sliders were all perfect. Second gear was perfect.
Really?
We put an M factory diff in there while it was out. New bearings in that. Replaced a couple of the bearings inside the box. Input shaft bearing, input shaft seal. Standard stuff that goes. New rear main crank seal. Again, just preventative stuff really, to make sure that when you put it in, you're not then taking it back out again and fixing shit that you could have fixed when it's on the engine stand. Dead easy.
So it's literally going to be goddamn mint when it goes in.
Yeah, I mean, touch wood.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Touch wood. But, yeah, I mean, as far as anything that you can do to a standard engine, health-wise, it's been done. So it's essentially valve clearances and all that sort of stuff been done. So you just drop it in. You don't need to do anything until your first oil service, 10,000 miles, something like that. And then service B after that with plugs, and then service C a little bit further on down the line. So obviously it'll have new fluids everywhere. Everything that is a serviceable item in this engine has been changed.
Sweet.
Aside from taking shells and stuff like that out of it. But
Flipping heck.
I mean, honestly, with how good the gearbox was and how well it leaks down, you can't really have bought a better second-hand engine.
Oh really?
No,
oh mate, that's good to
really
know,
good.
especially from you as well.
Really good.
Mate, it looks amazing, doesn't it? You've killed it, Dave. You've bloody killed it. Look at that.
Amazing what a bit of silver paint can do.
Mate, that literally looks brand spanking new, just painted in it. That's nuts. Oh mate, I'm buzzing. So what we're waiting for now with the car?
Engine mounts.
Just the engine mounts.
So Hasport sent the mounts initially, and they turned up, went to fit them, was like, these are not the right ones. They'd sent like the fucking all-wheel drive things, so but they were in the right box with the right label on, just the wrong engine mounts.
Product.
So I'd send them back, and then it's supposed to be the start of September. Obviously, the way the world is at the minute with supply,
that's the only issue, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But once the engine mounts are here, and we put the engine in.
Smooth sailing from there,
pretty
isn't
much, mate. Yeah, assemble some drive shafts.
Oh yeah, of course, drive shafts. Yeah,
some drive shafts in it. Aside from that, mate, a little bit of wiring. Everything's been stripped out of it. So we've got to fit the shifter, which again should be here imminently. That's been 6 weeks.
Well, start of September's next week now.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not a million miles away.
Yeah. Well, like I said to you, there's no rush at all with this car. I've brought it all this way to get to where we are.
Yeah.
So there's no point rushing the last bit.
From our perspective, obviously, we need to try and turn things around as quick as we can.
Yeah.
But I can't fit it.
to be blunt.
So there's only so much you can do, mate. And unfortunately, with the way that things are at the minute, just with supply.
Yeah, cheers, Boris.
Got you over a barrel. Well, we did have some, and then obviously they turned up wrong. So that's a bit of a shitter. But yeah, in the midst of race season as well, so for us, times at a premium.
I was going to say everyone's loading up to go racing at the moment. Bless them.
That's this weekend.
Yeah.
Tarpar Trophy. So
sick.
We'll see how that goes.
You won last one, didn't you?
No.
One before that, you won.
We won Road Sports last week. In Class C, but the last Tarpar Trophy round, we're still leading the championship. But on drop scores, we're not. The drop scores are a bit of a pain in the arse, where the thing that I really don't agree with. Where like you get penalised for doing well, essentially.
Oh right.
So like if we finished on the podium every single round, had loads of fastest laps and qualified a pole, won races, but because we've scored every round, when we drop 2 rounds, we lose 50 points. Whereas people that haven't finished twice don't drop anything.
That doesn't really make sense.
So we get penalised for doing well, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Last round out, Chris drove a mega race. Mega race. We finished third in the first race, and then we're leading the second race into the last corner. He outbrakes himself.
No.
So yeah, I mean that's motorsport. But
well, yeah, exactly.
When we all put so much into it, and Chris himself put so much into it, it's a bit of a kick in the dick. But
I can imagine, mate.
You've got to take it on you. Take it as what it is.
Racing. That's what racing's about.
Exactly, man.
So, all in all, waiting on engine mounts, and then it's all guns blazing.
And then all guns blazing, man. Like I said, we've got everything's all ready to go in. Everything's been zinced and powder coated, and everything that we needed to get done prior to fitting the engine is there and is waiting. I'd say essentially when we had the mounts, we wanted to drop the engine in before we got it painted, just to make sure there was no
not covering up the wrong bolt holes or something.
Not even that, mate, because you can just pop them back through. But it's more that making sure that you've got no interference issues with this specific set of mounts in your subframe.
Okay.
So
have you seen how far the engine will sit forward?
Didn't get a chance to do it, mate.
Oh, did you not? Because of the mounts.
Wrong. But where we had to then send it to paint, you couldn't otherwise then. If we were waiting for engine mounts before we did that to send it to paint, it'd be another 8 weeks.
Exactly.
You've got to do what you can when you can. So we send it off to paint, get that back, and then if there is any clearance issues, we'll worry about it later.
Cross that bridge when it comes to it. Sound.
Yeah, man.
I'm buzzing. Sweet. I'm going to go have a look at my engine again and get some filming done. But, engine bay and engine. Well, yeah, nice one, Dave.
No, we do.
Oh, boys, man. Yeah, M Factory diff in there. We've got an LSD in there now, like you said. Oh man, this thing is going to be an absolute monster when it's all together. But yeah, like Dave said, just waiting on a couple of bits. It's not the end of the world. Things take time, and you've got to wait for greatness, is what I say. So also baffled sump in there as well, which is handy. Can do a couple of track days maybe. So yeah, that is beautiful. That is really nice. Right, mate, I'm going to let you enjoy race weekend.
Nice one, mate.
Take it easy, have a good one. Jim Bob.
Yo.
Give me a spud. Jake, give me a spud. Spud, sexy little llama. Right then, fellas, I'll let you enjoy race weekend. Cheers, quick little update there on the Civic in the background there. Yeah, just waiting on engine mounts like Dave said, and we'll be on the road. He's going to give me a shout when the engine mounts arrive so I can come down and do some more filming, but you've just seen the engine bay, man. It looks absolutely unreal. Look at this car, man, under here. I know it looks a bit worse for wear as of now, but under there is absolutely brand spanking new. So I'm going to let the boys enjoy their racing, and we'll see you guys in the next one.